Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, today we got two new ones, two new models. And they're Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusives. And I guess you could guess what the models are going to be. I guess you can guess what the models are going to be. Yes, it's two new Sharks. Two new Sharks for 2021. They just came out. Well, actually, they came out a couple of weeks ago. I've had these for about a week now. I just haven't had time to do the video yet. And, well, let's get started. Let's look at them. Well, let me let you see what the model numbers are. And these are Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusives. The only place you can get these models is at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. First one up. Sharks. Sharks. Centering looks like it's favoring the show side a little bit. This is a burgundy micarta, PVD coat, black PVD coated, Artisan Cutlery Shark, the large shark. The blade is just a touch under 4 inches. The handle's 5 inches. The total length of this knife is just under 9 inches. The blade thickness should be 3.8 millimeters. We're going to check everything out and see if everything is like I think it is. I love the micarta handle scales. I loved how they even blacked out all the screws in the hardware. I love that. I love the black pocket clip. I love the way it's recessed into the handle. I love the way that they use flat pocket clip screws. This one's going in my drawer. I love the way they finished everything. And what's new about this one as opposed to the old one is the blade steel next to the handle and the way it's finished. But the main thing that's new about it is the blade steel. The blade steel. This has the Artisan Cutlery's AR-RPM9 powdered blade steel. Artisan Cutlery's proprietary powdered blade steel. And it's a budget powdered blade steel. That's what's so cool about it. It's supposed to have the rust resistance of 28C14. I always get the Sandvik numbers all mixed up. I never can remember them. I think it's 14N28C. I don't know, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Sandvik steel. It's supposed to have the Sandvik budget steel. It's supposed to have the same rust resistance as the Sandvik steel, and have the edge retention of D2. And as y'all know, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the Artisan Cutlery D2 is their proprietary D2 also. It's not German D2. It's Artisan Cutlery's D2. And what makes it a little bit different is that they put a little bit more chromium in it to make it a little bit more rust resistant. So the D2 from Artisan Knives is even closer to stainless steel than normal German D2. But it still has the same edge retention. Artisan Cutlery is making their own steel. So, and they seem to be doing a very good job at it too. I know they know how to sharpen these edges. These are nice knives. And the other thing new about this one, as opposed to the old one, because I've already taken these out the box and checked them out, because I couldn't wait. I didn't have time to make the video, and I just wanted to see the knives. And so I ended up unboxing them. I'm sorry, people. I did it without you guys. I unboxed them by myself because I just had to see them. But the other difference I notice in these is that both of mine have lock stick. And this leaf spring is extra strong. It feels like a cold steel leaf spring now. Feels like a tie light leaf spring to me. Where you got to really, push on it, and it puts a little indentation in your thumb from pushing on it. It's not like the old ones. Like this one, it feels like there's nothing there. When I go to close it, it feels like there's nothing causing any kind of resistance. So you can't even hear anything. But this one also has a little bit of lock rock. Just a touch though. And like right now it doesn't have any lock rock. I just, but when this blade gets loose from fidgeting with it all the time, because this is one of my favorite fidget knives. Out of all the knives I have, this is one of my favorites. It will come loose. The pivot comes loose because I haven't Loctited the pivot, and I've taken this knife all the way apart, and I've lubed it up with Militech One gun grease, lithium gun grease, and oil. So it's on ball bearings already. So this knife is super smooth. I think it's one of my smoothest knives out of all the Artisan Cutlery knives that I have now. This is the smoothest one. Not this model, but this knife. This is a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive also. It's a brass one, and I refinished the handles. Here's what it looks like when they're brand new. Because I got one to collect and one to modify. Because I just knew that the brass would look really nice if I polished it. But it looks nice like that too though. I just like it like this a little bit better. But anyway. This knife is super smooth. I would put it in a super smooth category. And right now the blade's as tight as you can make it. As far as the pivot's concerned, it's tightened up as tight as you can tighten it up. When it's tightened up as tight as you can tighten up, there's no lock rock. So if I tighten it up like that and I Loctited it, put Loctite on it and let it dry out for a day or two, the pivot probably wouldn't turn anymore. The pivot screws probably wouldn't turn anymore. It probably would stay right there. So I don't know if it would have lock rock. Because I know that there's been some people mentioning that some of these have lock rock or whatever. And I could see how this one, somebody would say this one has lock rock if they let the pivot get loose. Because if the pivot gets loose, then it does have lock rock. Let me see if I can show you, demonstrate what I'm talking about to you. What's up, sweetie? Huh? That's my girl. Yeah, I'm sorry, kiddo. I thought I left my screwdriver out here. Maybe I didn't. Let me see if I can loosen up like this. No, it's not going to let me. Okay, hold on. There we go. Got to have the T8. I thought I'd left the other one out. This is my old one. I guess not. Okay. But if you loosen up the pivot, just loosen up a little bit. You don't have to loosen up a whole lot. And now it'll have, I don't know if you can hear it. Make it a little bit looser, maybe. Never really gets this loose. Yeah, I think, is that what you guys are calling lock rock? Because this one doesn't have any real up and down play. It's more of a side to side thing. And then when you tighten it up, that's as tight as it can go now. And now there's no lock rock. I mean, there's no up and down play. So I don't know if it really has up and down play. And this knife has been fidgeted with a ton. A ton. And so, and y'all know how I fidget with knives, so you know I'm telling you, what I'm telling you is the truth. And this is one of the first ones I've got. And so this one's had the most abuse. I haven't really even used this one. I carried it once, and that was about it. But it's never really been used or anything. It's only been used on the videos here, pretty much, to cut paper. This one's gone to work with me. But this is the frame lock titanium one, so it's not the budget one. These are the budget ones. This one's never been used. This is just a collector. Just I gotta just bring this one out now too, huh? This is my collector also. Both of these are Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Actually, all three of these are Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And this is a Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and so is this one. This is these two right here are like the ones that you buy from Artisan. Except for this one's had a polished blade. I polished the blade on my titanium one. And this is a Damascus. This is D2. These are all D2. This is D2, and this is the new AR-RPM9. But I just want to point that out to people. I don't know if you guys are calling lock rock what happens when the blade gets loose. It's like this one doesn't have any up and down play. But when I loosen it, it feels like it does. Like if I loosen it back up like this, now I can feel like a little bit of movement up and down. And is that because the liner is moving? I'm not a liner lock professional or anything. I don't really have a super whole lot. The only experience I have with liner locks is from way back when they had the older style liner locks. And those used to wear out because they didn't have the right metals and things like that. Now I can see it when this blade is loose, it moves around all over the place. But when you tighten it up, and that's where it's supposed to be. This one's supposed to be a tightened. I think they're supposed to be fairly tight. See, like there's no lock rock now. It's totally solid lockup, no side to side, no side to side, no up and down. But check this out. It's still super smooth. This one doesn't have to be loose. In the centering, it's an awesome knife. But okay, now what I was back to originally talking about. Before I got sidetracked there, and I had to tell you guys all about that. The new thing about these is that the leaf spring is a lot stronger than the old models, I think. These right here, these are all liner locks. These four on the bottom. Their leaf springs are a lot weaker than this one. This one has a very strong leaf spring. And like right now, this blade is tightened up all the way. It's tightened up all the way. And even with it tightened up all the way, it doesn't center out. See that? And I think it's because the leaf spring on these is so strong, it pushes the blade over. It puts tension on the blade. Because you can move the blade to center, but it won't stay there. And I think it's because the leaf spring's pushing on it. So these have a very strong leaf spring. Whereas these, they center out perfectly all the time. Even when they get loose to stay center, they have to be really loose before they start floating over to the other side. But people complained about the way that these Where I guess some of them, or maybe a lot of them, I don't know. Mine so far, I haven't, like I said, I haven't used these, and I haven't really used this one. All of these are rock solid. None of these have any blade play, any blade movement at all, but then again, they haven't been fidgeted with. This one has been fidgeted with, I don't even know how many times it's probably thousands of times it's been opened and closed and played with. Now when I do stuff, I don't like throw the blade out like that and then really slam it against the leaf spring, because with a liner lock, you can't. If you do that, you're going to wear out your liner lock very quickly. Because liner locks, the metal for the leaf spring is a softer metal. Or it should be a weaker hardness, it should be less hard or softer than your blade. The blade tang should be strong and hardened, so it's not going to wear out. What will wear out will be the leaf spring. And so if you slam your blade against the blade tang against the leaf spring constantly, eventually it's going to deform it a little bit. And then you will have up and down blade play, and you probably will have lock rot. You can't treat a liner lock like that. Liner locks aren't super strong locks. And if you open them up any other way than they're really supposed to be opened, you're probably going to damage it, because you can't open them up like super fast and hard. You just got to do what it's designed to do. If it's designed to be a flipper, flip it. If it's designed to be a thumb stud knife it. But don't like wrist flick it all the time. Don't do stuff like this all the time, because that will wear out the surface on the between the blade tang and the leaf spring. I know that for a fact, because that's what's happened to me that's what used to always happen with my old liner locks. Because I used to have like the old tie lights or whatever, and I used to like flip them out really hard, and after a while you wear out the surface area, or you deform the surface area where the blade tang meets the leaf spring. So if you have a liner lock, I would suggest that you just open it up. You can open it up quickly or whatever, but I wouldn't be like wrist flicking it all the time or something like that, because wrist flicking is hard on knives. Just use the flipper, thumb stud, or the hole in it, or whatever's in it, however it's made. This one is a beautiful knife, because compared to these, it feels like it weighs nothing. But anyway, let's look at this other box. Let's see what's in this other box. I explain all the things I think I need to explain about these. And this one is just like that one, only the difference is it doesn't have a coated blade. But this is AR-RPM9 also, the brand new one that you can get at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. 3.8 millimeter blade stock. Beautiful tip. Beautiful blade. I love the way Artisan makes their blades. They make them thick, have thick, strong spines, but they can still cut. The only one that I have that doesn't cut well is the Hornet. And I have a couple of Hornet models, and all of them are the same. They all cut exactly the same. So if you need a slicing knife, don't get a Hornet. But the waistline, the Shark, the RKO, those are awesome. They're all awesome when it comes to cutting. This one to me is like looks like a folding steak knife. Sort of feels like a steak knife too. Only it's thicker and stronger. But see how it's hard to close? It's not easy to close. This one's not broken in either, though. I haven't really used it that much. I just carried it once or twice. And I haven't really fidgeted with this one so much, because it's hard to close. It makes it less fun to fidget with. You see how this one favors the other side also? The show side. And I think it's because of the leaf springs. I'm thinking it's because of the leaf springs. All right. Well, that's my shark collection. I have one more of these too, but no need to bring that out. This is my sharks. So I have 8 sharks. There's 7 showing here. I got one more. 8 sharks all together. Absolutely love the shark. I thought the shark was going to be my favorite knife out of all the artisan knives because it's a no bullshit knife. And that's why I sort of like my knives. I don't like bullshit knives. I like no bullshit knives. Or should I say that? Can I say that on YouTube? But I like knives that don't have any things that I don't need on them. I'm not into show knives and things like that. I sort of like things that are just look like user knives, I guess. I don't really go for the showy stuff. For the showy stuff, to me, it's just like, you know, for fun and fidgeting and stuff like that with, but I don't carry them. I have carried my number 154 a lot. But that's just to show my buddies and stuff like that. You know, it's just, that, you know, I don't know. I'd rather carry one of the ones that's not flashy like that. Okay, let's see how much these weigh. 4.0. 4.0. This is the original one. This is the first one I got. 4.3. So these are a little bit lighter. 4.3. This is a G10 model with the stainless steel liners. This is Burgundy Micarta with stainless steel liners also. This is a copper one. 6.6. Brass one that I modified. 6.3. Awesome knife, awesome knife. Brass one unmodified. 6.4. And one of my favorites right here. This is the one that's in my box, and it's the one I carry. If I'm going to carry one of these, it's usually this one. Okay, here we go. 4.0. So it's the same weight as these. These 3 right here are 4.0. Titanium, ivory micarta with stainless steel. Beautiful. And these are the top 3 I would carry because they all got the black pocket clips. You all know that. And they're nice and dark. This one actually looks more concealed. They would conceal better than than this one, the titanium version. Because this one right here, you're not going to see anything shiny. This one right here, you got the screws. See what I'm talking about? So that one would be a great one to carry. And like I said, these are hard to close up, but I'm sure they're going to break in though. But they are hard to close. Beautiful. You want to test the edge? Let's see what the edge looks like. Let's test the edge. So far, the dullest one I have is the first one I got. And the one I never use. It's the dullest. And that's the black G10 one. That one I got for 52 bucks. These right here are $59. Both, either one of these, you know, whatever way you want it, they're 59 bucks. 59 bucks. And Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Razor. Razor. Oh man, that's sharp. That one actually feels a little bit sharper than the PVD coated one. Okay, here's the dull one. I'm calling it dull. Okay. That's D2. These two are AR-RPM9, the brand new models for this year. These are brand new models. They just came out within the last month. Oh. All my knives from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, they're always sharper than the regular artisan knives. I don't know if it's because Smoky Mountain Knife Works is doing that, or maybe Artisan pays a little bit closer attention to the ones that are exclusives for companies that they're doing exclusives for. This is the one. This one's been used, but it's still sharp. Still super sharp, but it's been actually used a lot. This one's never been used. Yep, I can tell the difference. This one probably just needs to be stropped though. It feels like it needs stropping. This one's been used too. And it has a custom edge that I put on it because I custom polished the blade and put a custom edge on it with my own work sharp at 23 degrees. And it's razor. All right. The Shark is a great knife. The Shark is why we call it a great knife for EDC. Now, do I think it's the safest knife? No. I do not think it's the safest knife. These, if they're to come loose, but this one, I think these are safer. I think the new ones are safer though. Number one, because it's hard to unlock them. So that means that they're probably less likely to come unlocked on you, but it's, you know, what do you call it, the flipper and a little bit of choil does stop the blade, but it doesn't have like a big bite on your finger. You know, it's not like really engulfing your finger. It's just like getting the edge of your finger. I don't know how to explain that. And so, even though one of these have never folded on me on when I was testing to fold, I'm just not super. I don't know. I'm not super. That doesn't give me a lot of confidence. I think the flipper needs to be a little bit longer, or the choil needs to be a little bit deeper, one or the other, before it to make this one what I would call safe. I do love this knife though. I think it's one of my favorite Artisans, the Shark model. I do love it. As you can tell, I love it because I bought it over and over and over again. This one's been carried. This one's been carried once or twice. I think I carried twice so far. This one's been carried once or twice. This one's been carried a lot. This one's been carried the most out of all of these, the titanium version. Why? Because I like to carry knives I feel safe with. And with a frame lock, what makes it different than a liner lock or safer than a liner lock to me is that when you hold these, it's sort of like the Andrew Demko Scorpion lock. You're holding the lock bar against the blade tang, and you're keeping it from coming unlocked. So as long as you got a good grip on one of these, I think it's safe. I think it's safe. That's how I feel about. That's how I feel about what do you call it, frame locks. And the frame locks I like the best are the ones with the what do you call it, with the hardened steel inserts. I don't think I'd buy any frame locks without a hardened steel insert, unless it was like a budget knife and it was like extra inexpensive or something like that. It would be like the same. It'd have to be like around the same price as like a liner lock, because I wouldn't spend a whole lot of money on a liner lock either. But you know, for budget knives that you're using just for EDC knives or something, I think they're perfectly fine. You know, I mean, just for a budget knife though, but not for something that I would think would be like super great. Because super great, it's got to have a super great lock. If it doesn't have a super great lock, I don't care what materials the knife is made out of or who makes it or whatever. In my mind, it's not going to be super great because it's not going to be super safe. To me, super great knives are also super safe. And what I mean by super safe is that they don't fold back in on your hand. You can use them without having to worry about, you know, like a fixed blade. You know, you can pretty much use them like a fixed blade where you don't have to really worry about them folding on your hand. Let's see how thick this knife is. Let's do this one. That one has a coating on it, so it might give me a little bit of a false reading. So we'll check out the uncoated model. That can't be right. Hold on. 0. Okay. It says 3.17. Wow, so it's a lot thinner than I thought. Let me see, hold on. So maybe the new ones are thinner. Yeah, 3.15. So these are thinner. That's probably the reason, one reason why they're lighter too. Compare it to the original one. Y'all see that? The difference? And this one right here is this is a Damascus blade. So this one, did I do this one? So these are a lot thinner. Yep. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I thought they would be the same. So it's a thinner blade stock. So this is closer to like the 3.2 millimeter. That's what I would call it, 3.2. This one's closer to center. It's still favoring the other side. Let me see if I tighten it up at all. See if it moves. No, it's tight. It's tight already. No blade play, no up and down, no nothing like that. It feels totally rock solid. This one here is a little bit easier to manipulate than the other one. I think maybe because this one has the coating on it. Because this one only slightly lock sticks. But like the other one though, it's still favoring the other side, even all the way tightened up. So I do think that these leaf springs are a lot thicker. I mean, not thicker, but a lot stronger. Let's see what the thickness of the leaf spring is. Zero. One 1.66. So it's still a thick leaf spring. And the old ones are 1.47. Oh, so the new leaf springs are thicker. Interesting, people. We're finding out some little interesting facts here, aren't we? Let me see what this one is. I'm going to compare the Smoky Mountain Knife Works one. Yep, 1.5. So this one, the new leaf springs are 1.7. I would call them a 1.7. And these are 1.5 millimeters. So 1.7 millimeters, and they feel like they're a lot stronger. They feel like they're a lot stiffer. They're not as fidgety as the old leaf spring because it takes more effort to unlock the knife. But it also feels like it makes the knife safer too. It feels like but maybe that's what they're doing to solve the lock rock issue that they had with the older model that people complained about. That would be my guess. I don't know for sure. I don't work for Artisan. I don't know anybody that works for Artisan. This is all just stuff I've learned on my own since owning these knives. 9 inches long. Is that longer? Oh no, they're all 9 inches, so they're the same size still. The blade length, 4 inches. Blade length, 4 inches. Okay, so it's 4 and 5. 4 and 5. I thought it was a little bit under 4. That's 4 and 5. We got a T8, and all the other screws look like T6s. Is that right? Yep, T6s. All the other screws are T6s. All the hardware in these is all blacked out. It's got black linen, I mean not black, but burgundy linen micarta. The pocket clips are recessed with flat screws. You still have the open back spacer, open back. I love these knives. These knives are beautiful. These are some beautiful liner lock knives. Whereas opposed to the original version, they didn't have the open back. But this is the way they came from Artisan. And I think they still come from Artisan like this. These are Smoky Mountain Knife exclusives. I would recommend to go get the Smoky Mountain Knife exclusives. If you want to get a Shark, get the Smoky Mountain Knife one. Smoky Mountain Knife Works one, should I say? Because I think they do something to the blades. I don't know if it's Smoky Mountain Knife Works or Artisan, but the finishing on the blades is better. I mean the edge, as far as the edge is concerned, they feel sharper. Like this is a factory edge. It's never been sharpened. It's never been used, and it's kind of dull. It's not, compared to these other ones, this one's dull. And I leave it like that because I want to show you guys, the way I received it and stuff like that. All these knives are brand new. None of them were used. None of them were secondhand. None of them were blends or anything like that. They were all brand new, in perfect condition. And these are $59 or roughly $60. This one was $52, roughly $53. These were $37. I think this one was a $37 one. I think this one, and this one. I think these are all. It's either $37 or $41. One of the two. This one right here. This is a Damascus titanium version, and it was $187. I think it was. And I got that one at White Mountain Knife? I can't remember if it was White Mountain Knife. It's either that or Knife Country. I can't remember which one. I'm sorry. And I got a discount code on it too, so I didn't pay that. I didn't pay the full price for it. I think I paid like $178. So it might have been Knife Country. It might have been Knife Country USA I got it from. Because that's a 5% discount, and that would make it like $178. I see you, sweetie. That's my sweetie girl. Want to get up in the video? Okay. What you doing? And that's about all I got for you guys today. I'm going to go ahead and put this one out there. It's probably long like they all are. Y'all, you know how I do it. I make them too long. But anyway, peace out, Stiletto. The next one I'm going to be making will be on the traditions. My traditions. I haven't done a video on those yet. And I got the Smoky Mountain Knife Sport exclusive for the tradition too. So you guys might want to see that one if you want to check out the traditions. But anyway, that'll be the next one. Peace out, Stiletto.